I mean, but there's a lot of stuff that reminds me of her. You know, in like relationships, like you see something on TV and you're like, oh, I remember when we used to watch this.
No, this isn't just some random overlap. The similarities are way too personal, way too specific. Justin recently released a new album. And if you've been paying attention, it's filled with what feels like veiled messages to Selena's subtle lyrics, shared aesthetics, repeated phrases. There's even a quiet nod to her favorite perfume. But here's where it starts to feel less like coincidence and more like confession. Both of them reference the same Highway 405, and they didn't just use it as a backdrop. The language, the metaphors, even the timing of their releases, practically identical. Selena dropped hers near Justin's birthday. He returned the gesture right before hers. If they're not talking directly, it's starting to feel like they're using music to say what? Words can't. Let's go deeper. If you're as fascinated by these hidden messages and emotional breadcrumbs as we are, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. We're always decoding the lyrics, visuals, and symbolism that most people miss because in Hollywood, the real story is never just on the surface. Tap that notification bell so you never miss a moment, because trust me, the next drop might just reveal even more secrets they're too afraid to say out loud. Stay tuned and stay watching. Justin's new song, 405, includes the line, "On 405 with your ass in the passenger seat." That's not just a lyric, it sounds like a time stamp from a memory. And then he sings, "Blue sky painted red, sunset looks different on you." It's poetic, intimate, and kind of heartbreaking. He even adds, "Eye contact, how my baby look." Like that? Gonna make me crash now. It feels like he's spiraling into something he hasn't let go of. But here's where it gets eerie. Selena once sang about the same highway years ago in Camouflage. She said, "Riding alone on the 405 and life's so fragile." That's not just shared imagery, it's emotional overlap. She followed it with, "You might just not care and it might just not help." These are lyrics that bleed. So, was Justin pulling from an old wound, or was he quietly reaching back? And we're just scratching the surface. Justin's most streamed track from Swag, called Daisies, sounds like a love letter written with trembling hands. One lyric mirrors Selena's older track, Round and Round, where she sang, "Love me or love me not." I'm staring at the clock, I pick them flower petals off, and then I watch them drop. Now fast forward years later, and Justin sings, "Do you love me or not?" Followed by, "Head is spinning and it don't know when to stop." Same metaphor, same petals, same ache, and the Daisy connection doesn't stop there. Selena's favorite perfume? Daisy, her dog's name? Daisy, she's worn Daisy crowns, posted Daisy photos, lived in that symbolism during her revival era. And now, Justin releases a track called Daisies with lyrics that feel ripped from her diary. That's not artistic inspiration. That feels like unfinished business. And then there's the gut punch. "You said forever, baby. Did you mean it or not?" That lyric from Justin doesn't just float in the air, it lands with the weight of a memory. Because years ago, Selena sang in Love Will Remember. Love will remember you and love will remember me. I know it inside my heart. These aren't throwaway lines. They're mirrored promises, repeated years apart, echoing the same quiet pain. And just when you think it's all poetic coincidence, Justin slips in a line about being left on read. "You leave me on red, babe, but I still get the message." He doesn't even need a reply. He just sees the 3 dots and says, "I can connect them." Selena once sang something hauntingly similar. "If I leave you unseen, why do you call me now?" 2 people, 2 verses. One conversation we're not supposed to hear, but we do. Over and over, and just when it seems like we've reached the emotional limit, the album title itself throws fuel on the fire. Swag. Random? Not exactly. Back in 2013, Selena released Stars Dance, and in the track Nobody Does It Like You, she sings, "You're sexy kind of swag, the best I've ever had." Everyone knew she was talking about Justin. So now, more than a decade later, he titles his album with that very word. It's not subtle, it's a direct callback, a flipped lyric, a response. And look at the release timeline. Selena drops I Said I Love You first in March, Justin's birthday month. Then Justin releases Swag in July, Selena's birthday month. That's not just poetic, that's deliberate. As if each of them is leaving breadcrumbs for the other, birthday after birthday, Lyric after lyric. And if you thought Daisy metaphors were deep, wait until we talk butterflies. Because what used to seem like harmless aesthetics now feels like a breadcrumb trail, emotional, intentional, symbolic. Selena's fans have long associated butterflies with her personal rebirth after heartbreak, after illness, after disappearing from the spotlight and returning stronger. She's worn butterfly jewelry, posted butterfly emojis, even appeared surrounded by them in her music visuals. But lately, Justin's been using them too. In Swag, he sings, "Butterflies flying in my stomach, not from nerves from missing you." That's not just a love lyric, that's an open wound. A memory etched in metaphor, especially when you consider that during one of their earliest dates, paparazzi caught Selena wearing a butterfly necklace. That symbol might have seemed innocent back then, but now it feels like a time capsule cracked open. That butterfly metaphor isn't where it ends. Justin's Swag album includes an interlude with a soft, haunting voicemail from a female voice saying, "I didn't mean to disappear. I just didn't know what to say anymore." Fans immediately recognized the emotional tone. It echoed a voice memo Selena had once shared years ago. The same quiet regret, the same vulnerability. It's not a stretch to believe this was meant as a direct nod to her. These aren't dramatized lines written for radio appeal. They feel like real memories, like conversations that were never finished being said. And just like that, we're not listening to an album anymore, we're listening to a coded diary. The visual symbolism backs it all up. Justin's visuals for Swag show him alone in a golden-lit field surrounded by wildflowers, eyes heavy with memory. Selena and I Said I Love You First is also seen in an empty field, framed in the same soft hues, isolated, reflective, reaching across the silence. Then it gets even more poetic. Justin posted a clip of a daisy spinning slowly in a glass of water. Around the same time, Selena dropped cover art for Forget Me Not, a butterfly trapped in a glass jar. No text, no explanation. Just raw symbolism. A daisy adrift, a butterfly trapped. Different visuals, but the same aching message, two souls. Still stuck in an emotional loop. Even the timing of their releases isn't accidental. Selena's I Said I Love You First dropped in March, Justin's birthday month. Swag was released in July, Selena's birthday month. Are we still calling this coincidence? Or are they acknowledging each other in the only way they can, through music, through release dates, through emotional syncopation? At this point, it feels like a carefully curated conversation between two people who aren't speaking directly anymore, but still have so much left to say. And if that wasn't enough, their vocal experimentation is uncanny. Selena's dreamy track Talk featured filtered vocals so warped, so surreal, that fans genuinely thought it was Justin's voice. Some claimed it was deliberate, that she wanted his voice to echo through hers. Around the same time, Justin released Yukon, where his own vocals are pitched so high and feminized. They feel like someone else entirely, perhaps someone he used to sing with. These sonic choices aren't just for artistic flair, they feel like emotional hauntings. They're not done with each other, not really. They've just changed the medium of communication. So when you add it all up, the 405 references, the daisies, the butterflies, the birthdays, the lyrics, the voice notes, the visuals, this isn't just a couple of celebrities releasing breakup songs. It's a full-blown emotional narrative stretched out across time. A hidden dialogue between two people who once loved each other so deeply they can't seem to stop answering back, even years later. Maybe they've moved on. Maybe they haven't, but their music still whispers what their mouths won't say. And we're all just lucky or cursed to be the audience listening in.